Yeah, Thatcher Demko, goaltender for the Vancouver Canucks, took the time to speak to the media and he updated us on the current status of the team and the league heading forward. So watch as Demko talked about the difficulty of being off the ice and what it will be like if he returns.
For me especially, I find like it takes a little bit of time for me to get back to being sharp on the ice. I know like coming back on the ice after a couple weeks off, 3-4 weeks off after the season's over, it's definitely a little bit of a rust. But it's going to be tough. I think just getting back into on ice shape. We're able to do these in-home workouts, and those have been good. But there's definitely something to be said. The difference between being in off ice shape and on ice shape. So that'll definitely take, for me at least, a couple weeks. This is probably the most time I've been off the ice since I was 8 or 9 years old. So it's definitely an odd feeling, a feeling that it can be overwhelming sometimes. You just don't really feel like you're yourself. So it's definitely an opportunity to just kind of relax and try and get your mind off the game, I guess, as much as you can.
We know that the city of Vancouver has given their support to the NHL by proposing the city as one of the hosts for the remaining NHL games. However, if the NHL decided on another city other than Vancouver to resume the regular season, Demko shared his thoughts about the possibility of being away from family for long periods of time. He also voiced his concern as a player regarding safely competing in a very physical sport.
Like being away from your kids and your wife for, like you said, maybe 4 months is really tough, and potentially living in a hotel. And I'm not sure how that's going to all play out. I know all the guys are itching to get back, but there's definitely some logistical things that I think need to get sorted out before everyone's comfortable doing so. Yeah, I think the two things when you think about safety are obviously the coronavirus and making sure that our bases are covered with guys contracting that and really being more exposed to it, being around teammates and being around other teams, being around staff at the rink, what have you. But, I think for the other part of it, it's just us not being on the ice for this long and then being thrown into a training camp. Like, guys are going to have to be really careful and ease into things. We can't just be off the ice for this long and then expect to come back at it full force like we were in March. Guys' bodies are in different conditions, different shapes as they were, in March. So, there's definitely a lot of things on the safety aspect side of it, and that's one of the things I think that the league and the union and the players are trying to all work out.
Well, we'd like to thank Thatcher Demko and the Vancouver Canucks organization for taking questions from the media and updating us on the current status of the league. In Vancouver, Anthony Sevilla, Eagle News, we live in interesting times.
Before you go, Anthony, quickly update us on any new proposals, anything you've heard from the NHL on whether the season might resume.
Well, there was a new proposal that came up, but it didn't involve all 31 teams in the NHL to play out the rest of the regular season. So last Monday at the NHL Board of Governors meeting, a proposal to instead jump right into the Stanley Cup playoffs with a 24-team playoff format rather than the current 16-team format in these hub cities. With more playoff games, that means more money going forward to the owners. So the league has already lost so much by canceling the final weeks of the season that it gives an opportunity for those franchises to earn that money back. However, the NHL and the NHL Players Association are continuing to weigh their options on how to safely resume competition. Discussions will resume at the NHL Board of Governors meeting next week, Monday.
Thanks for that update, Anthony, and we'll see you back here again. Don't be a stranger. A reminder